Welcome, everyone. Listen, if you're a journalist, an activist, or, just someone whose actual physical safety relies on absolute digital privacy, this explainer is exactly what you need right now. Today, we're doing a high-stakes, secure decryption of modern operational security. We're going to look really closely at how the tools we use to communicate are fundamentally designed, what they actually protect, and, more importantly, what they leave completely exposed. We're diving deep into the architecture of a platform called Z-Text and how it literally rethinks the whole concept of a private conversation. So let's get right into it. I want to start off with this incredibly stark quote directly from the Z-Text manifesto. The internet only knows two settings: forget or expose. I mean, wow, that perfectly frames the dangerous binary we all operate under today, doesn't it? Typically, your messages either vanish the second you close the app, or they just sit permanently on some company's server, just waiting to be read by anyone who asks the right way with a subpoena. And this binary, it creates a massive chilling effect. When people know they might be recorded or exposed, they hesitate, they stay quiet. Power's always understood that the absolute cheapest way to control behavior is just to control what people feel free to say.
Section 1. The metadata trap. The trap of identity.
Okay, let's dive into this comparison, because it is essentially the cornerstone of modern surveillance. We really need to contrast metadata with content. Most privacy apps focus so intensely on protecting the content, the actual words you speak or type. But the harsh reality? Metadata, who you spoke to, exactly when you spoke to them and how often, that is the real prize for adversaries. Governments scan this data, citing safety. Companies harvest it, calling it a product. But the truth is, metadata can reveal infinitely more about your network, your intentions, and your movements than your actual words ever could. And the core vulnerability here, it lies in identity. Almost every single messenger on the market right now asks you for a phone number. But that number isn't just some minor setup detail, it's the thread of identity. That single phone number ties your private words directly back to a physical SIM card, a telecommunications carrier, your legal name, and your home address. If an adversary holds that thread, well, they hold the person. The stark reality is that for a decade, the privacy industry has spent millions, literally millions, improving the cryptographic locks on our messages, all while leaving this highly dangerous thread completely intact. Section 2. Classic messengers versus Z-Text. The showdown. Let's break down the vulnerabilities of the apps you probably have sitting on your phone right now. Signal is widely trusted, sure, but it fundamentally requires a phone number, that exact thread of identity we just talked about. Telegram? They store your messages on central servers, which creates a massive honeypot of data. And WhatsApp, despite its encryption, actively shares your metadata with its parent company, Meta. Now, contrast that with Z-Text. Z-Text requires no phone number, uses absolutely no central servers, and shares zero metadata. It is a totally different architectural approach to the problem. The total absence of metadata is really what sets it apart. Section 3. The zero metadata promise. Cutting the thread. So the absolutely crucial point here is this number, 24. In the Z-Text ecosystem, there is no email login, there's no SIM card required, there is absolutely no legal name attached. Your entire identity is securely reduced to a 24-word seed phrase. That's it, the whole shebang. You are the only person on Earth who holds those words, and those words are the sole key to recovering your private messenger, your password vault, and your crypto wallet. By implementing these exact features, no phone number, no email, no SIM, and zero metadata collection, Z-Text effectively wipes out any central directory of users. Think about what that actually means for a journalist or an activist in the field. There's no company database that can suddenly turn your name into a target. There's no server list that a government can just subpoena. They have deliberately cut the thread that adversaries use to track and monitor individuals. In this system, privacy isn't just some promise written in an easily updated corporate privacy policy. It's built rigidly right into the architecture itself. Section 4. zk-SNARKs and Cryptography. Demystifying the math. Now, what's really interesting here is the whole concept of zk-SNARKs. This is often referred to by experts as moon math because of how incredibly complex it is. But the core definition breaks it down beautifully. Zero-knowledge proofs are mathematics that allow a message to be proven real to the network without ever revealing who sent it, who received it, or what it actually said. It acts as the ultimate, impenetrable shield for private conversations, exposing absolutely nothing to the outside world. Let's move to the technical stack and see how this all builds into an uncompromisable system. ZTEX operates on the BitcoinZ blockchain, which has been running securely since 2017. But here is the critical takeaway for maximum operational security. Messages are AES-256-GCM encrypted, and then they are wrapped in Zcash sapling shielded transactions. I want to emphasize that. By combining this ultra-robust AES-256-GCM encryption with zk-SNARKs and on-chain immortality, the messages become completely quantum-resistant and totally immutable. Add in features like panic and stealth modes, and you've got a tool uniquely engineered for the absolute most hostile digital environments on the planet.
Section 5. Immortality on the blockchain, the uncensorable truth. You know, ZTEX did something truly unusual for a software project. They wrote a manifesto outlining their beliefs on the fundamental right to a private conversation. But instead of just tossing it up on a website that could easily be taken down, they decentralized it on IPFS, a network where files are held by content, not by corporate servers. Then they permanently timestamped its fingerprint into Bitcoin's block 178928 on June 19, 2026. This means the manifesto is completely out of their hands now. There's no host to pressure and literally no button to delete it.
And this brings us to their defining principle. What can be erased can be censored. So this is placed where it cannot be erased. The creators of ZTEX recognize that they themselves have no safety net. They might survive as an entity or, well, they might not. But by leveraging blockchain immortality, they ensure their message and the structural reality of the privacy they've built will outlive them. Because let's face it, a true right to a private conversation shouldn't depend on the survival of a corporation. Which leaves us with this final, vital question to reflect on. Does your right to privacy depend on those in power? If your Messenger app relies on a central server, a phone number, or a corporate policy that can just change with the political winds, the uncomfortable answer is yes. ZTEX challenges us to demand privacy that is architectural, mathematical, and immutable. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Stay safe, stay informed, and I highly encourage you to critically examine the threads of identity in your own digital life.